Now, Dot Hacker, the band is going to be releasing something new soon, but you've released an album previously, which is available here. So, how did Dot Hacker come about?
It came about from my undying dream of having a band of, buddies, or, friends that all sort of wanted to do relatively the same thing, play music together, tour the country, to the world together, just kind of have fun playing together. I never really had that as a kid, or when when a lot of people have that experience. Um, so when I was touring, playing keyboards in the band Gnarls Barkley back in 2006, I met Clint Walsh on that tour. And I think one late night in a hotel room asked the question, and can you even make new friends as you get older? I don't even know if it's possible, and sort of whilst asking that question, we were becoming, very fast, very good friends. So throughout the rest of that tour, we just started talking about, when we're done with this, we should probably, put a band together. And he knew Eric Gardner, the drummer, from other things that they'd played together in. And I knew Jonathan, the bass player, Jonathan Hischke, from seeing him play with good friends of mine. And I knew he'd be the perfect person to round out, a foursome. And I was able to lure Jonathan down to L.A., which I think he was against for a while. And yeah, it just it happened. And then the recording of the album sort of solidified it as a band.
Right. Now, Jonathan was from Hella, is that correct?
He did a tour with Hella.
Oh, okay.
Hella was essentially just Spencer and Zach as a duo. And they had made several records like that and done several tours like that, and I think they just decided that they wanted to try something new, so they expanded for one tour into a four-piece, and that included Jonathan on bass, and it also included one of my closest friends, Dan Elkin, on guitar and vocals. And so when I went along to see the new four-man version of Hella, it was remarkable to me. I got to see Dan really get this kind of wild opportunity to play with these incredible musicians, and then Jonathan was this unbelievable bass player that I'd never seen anyone do anything like.
I wondered how he fit in, because I knew they were a two-piece, and they were a formidable force when they were, just a two-piece. So seeing them as a four-piece would have been something else.
Yeah, I wonder often if there's any good documents of that tour, because I know they toured for a year solid, I think, and I remember seeing their first show, I think, or one of their first shows down here in L.A., and then I ran into them in England at the Altamont Party Festival. I was playing with someone, and they were there, and I saw them along the way, and they just got better and crazier and more hyper, and, they really were doing amazing things on that tour. I wondered if there was a way for anyone else to see it nowadays.
Well, I'm sure I can look up a shitty iPhone, video of it, and see an approximation.
This is pre-iPhone, way back in 2005.
Oh, right, yeah, okay. Well, look, we should play a Dot Hacker track, but I should say as well, it must be interesting being a guitarist in Red Hot Chili Peppers. They were a band for me when I was a little skate punk, and, Freaky Styley and Mother's Milk, and, and following guitarists such as Hillel Slovak and John Frusciante. That must be quite a remarkable thing, learning their... seeing their style.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they were one of my favorite bands when I was sort of, 9, 10, 11 years old, before I even played guitar. And when they released Blood Sugar Sex Magic, I was probably, 11 or 12, and John's playing on that album. I didn't quite, I hadn't heard anyone really play guitar like that on an album in a long time, but I didn't play guitar at all, so I didn't, I couldn't even think of applying it myself. I played the drums at that age and only. And then when I started playing guitar a couple years later, I wasn't really listening to the Chili Peppers that much at that point. They by this time they had Dave Navarro in the band, and they just weren't really doing much. But I sort of found myself really listening to John's playing on Blood Sugar, and he had put out his first solo album by that point, and I was enormously into that and into the songs on that and his playing and everything about that record. So yeah, throughout the course of the next decade or so, just meeting those guys, becoming good friends with John, playing with John, making records with him, and then going on tour with the Chili Peppers as the backup guy. I've been on an incredible ride with these people and with the Chili Peppers and sort of all the people that surround them. They're wonderful crew, and I've kind of been in the family for a while. So to kind of take it a step further and to write songs with them and tour with them as the only guitar player it's such an honor. Because I know how well I know how everything works so well that around. But yeah, I mean, I'm thankful for it every day.
Yeah, well, you've led an incredible career, so varied. And look, your formative 5 finished hours ago, but I couldn't help grilling you a little bit. So look, we're going to hear a Dot Hacker track now. Now we started with Inhibition. Which song are we going to play to end your formative 5 stint?
I think the song "The Wit of the Staircase" might be a good one. It showcases Jonathan's bass playing, which we were talking about a little while ago. It's a perfect example of him taking a song and kind of making a song within the song. And it's just lyrically for me, it's just it's still me being really vague, which I have the tendency to be with the lyrics, but it is kind of one of the more narrative-driven songs, like I mentioned, Nick Cave does. I don't know if anyone would ever get that, but